I promised you guys I was going to talk about this on Monday when I briefly covered it on the Transformer Slag podcast Saturday Night live stream, and it's that of a listing that showed up courtesy of JT Prime 17, some retail computer listings of a Transformers Generation Selects Autobot Multipack of Hound, Jazz, Wheeljack, Sunstreaker, and Trailbreaker. Now, the assumption is that because it's a deluxe, it's these previously released molds that we've gotten up to this point. And a lot of people were kind of conflicted by it or angry because while they really want that Hound, they don't want to have to rebuy all of those other characters that they've probably picked up already. But I think that there's a lot more going on here than we think, and it's not just going to be probably a repack of those previous products that we got through Earthrise and Studio Series, and you're just buying a Hound that's brand new. There's a lot more going on here. I don't know really where to start, but I mean, yeah, hey, we're getting that new Hound, and the story with that Hound was it was supposed to be, allegedly, a buzzworthy Bumblebee release along with the Studio Series Dark of the Moon Hatchet. They were going to be two new items, part of the buzzworthy Bumblebee line, maybe partly through the buzzworthy Bumblebee Studio Series line. And unfortunately, due to extremely low sales of buzzworthy Bumblebee, that whole capsule has been discontinued for Target. And as a result, those two individual figures were kind of part of that cancellation, and there's no place for them right now. It's the same fate that kind of happened to that toy accurate colored hot rod that was part of the Velocitron Speedia 500 collection. The Galaxy Shuttle got released, dodged that bullet, and was put out in limited numbers, but the hot rod didn't. And BMAC has addressed in one of the fan streams that all of those items, they're trying to find a place for them right now. It's just there isn't one currently, and they're just trying to find one. And I think now we know at least where the Hound is going, and it's through this multi-pack here. Now, addressing the other characters that are in here, yes, maybe. Maybe they could be straight-up re-releases, but this is also an opportunity for Hasbro to kind of do some little stuff different with these characters. Like the Jazz, for instance. Could be a toy-accurate colored Jazz instead of the more screen-accurate Studio Series 86 one. The Wheeljack, there's kind of a lot of stuff going on with that one because we had that line called Premium Finish that was shown to us like back in May of 2021. And oddly enough, with Premium Finish, that line also did sell very well and got canceled early. And while they had 12 releases planned for that line, unfortunately, 3 of them never made it to the end. And the belief was that those last couple releases, because they were shrouded in mystery and we couldn't see very well the characters, but it was pretty clear that, the 6th release for it was going to be Wheeljack. There was rumors that the 5th one was going to be Shockwave, and the 6th one for the Studio Series Premium Finish stuff was going to be a Jetfire. That was the belief. I mean, the Wheeljack one is pretty clear just by the silhouette. And, then it, compounds that kind of rumor because then when we got that, what was it called there? The Takara Dramatic Capture series, which was a different kind of premium finish line, I guess, with the Decepticon Nemesis Bridge, and we got a nice Shockwave through that. So maybe this could be the premium finish Wheeljack. And what color scheme will it be? Maybe it'll be, super cartoon accurate, screen accurate G1 colors in premium finish paint. That's a possibility. We will see. The Sunstreaker, I've always felt that they could have taken that Earthrise Sunstreaker, and if they just put a little more paint budget into it, they could do it even more screen accurate. It changed the tinge of the yellow to that more orangey yellow that Sunstreaker had to begin with. Paint in those shoulders that the animation model had, but the toy didn't. Same thing, maybe even paint in the front shin plastic pieces, again, to make it more screen accurate. Not much, but I mean, it would go a long way and give us that perfect Sunstreaker. And the Trailbreaker, toy colors, I guess. I mean, maybe, just maybe, somewhere on that sprue for Trailbreaker / Hoist is a toy-accurate head for Trailbreaker. I mean, you could argue if there was a toy-accurate head, why wasn't it used for the DK3 Breaker? I hear you. But maybe there is a toy-accurate head on there, and maybe they want to do a super toy-accurate Trailbreaker for that. I mean, it's kind of the theme now. We see a lot of toy-accurate toys of G1 characters done as exclusives, so it wouldn't surprise me. So that's a possibility for all of that. But like I said, maybe at the end of the day, it's just you get a brand new Hound and a whole bunch of straight up reissues with mild paint tweaks. But the way I see it, it kind of also gives people a chance to kind of get those figures that they weren't able to get before, of course, outside of that Hound. Because when you think about it, the Wheeljack, the Sunstreaker, the Trailbreaker, those were more than 3 years ago in Earthrise during the peak of the pandemic, when retailers were closed, difficult to get that stuff, and especially if you lived in a small town, it probably was pretty tough to get those. And even the Jazz was part of that first launch of the Studio Series 86 line in mid-2020. So also in that peak pandemic time. Also 3 years ago. So these are all items that were probably difficult for different walks of life of people, and now they could get a second opportunity to get them. That's just my take on that too. Also, and let's be real, also sounds like a lot of trademarks are coming up. These are all 3-year-old to 4-year-old items. So we all know how those trademarks work with the 4-year lifespan. So that also might be rolling around to kind of keep some of those fresh. There's a lot of layers going on here with this. So who knows what it is ultimately in the end, but it is something that I am looking forward to. If this is a way that they could get out that Hound, that's all great. Maybe this Hound will be done in toy accurate colors in a darker green, and then they'll do a more screen accurate one in a Studio Series 86 later on. Who knows how this is going to be? Who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of different layers to it of all the craziness that's going on. But at the end of the day, it is exciting that this is coming out, and it gives, again, an opportunity for people that were not able to get these items previously a second chance. And again, the people that are kind of angered by this, I feel you, but there's different walks of life in this fandom who have different financial opportunities and stuff like that. And again, a lot of those items did come out during the pandemic, which was a very wild time, both financially for people and for their ability to go out and do shopping. I mean, there was a lot of different priorities that were happening in 2020, to say the least. But that's just my take, more or less, of it. Let me know what you think. What do you think those repaints might be? Are they straight up, like just reissuing the toys? Or do you think perhaps maybe there's something different here? Maybe the Jazz is G2 Jazz colors. Who knows? Who knows? But let me know what you think. And thank you again for listening to the Transformer Slag podcast. And hopefully we'll have some bigger news this week going into 2024. Thank you for listening.